All right, let's get started. Good morning. Good morning. So, in the chat, we had a couple last little targets. If you guys remember, way back here, we left a 1 minute gap open right here on 10:20. So, even when we got those big pull down, confirmation of strength, we were still calling a return to the 1 minute gap and a sweep into all time highs, getting over the Trump dump candle on tariffs for the last 2 weeks. We finally hit our target, cruising into the all-time highs. So we'll be talking about that. So we got CPI on the push. This was best case scenario for us as well for the scalps. So we're going to go to this guy first. We have a 15-minute on moving average tag green here for the Fibonacci. So we placed this guy here, 1045 central. He has a no GP tag and he hits the 200 SMA and the 10 SMA moving averages. As we moved into today, we said don't be surprised if we get an absolute smash up, because that would be best case scenario for a short. So obviously CPI was right at the 2618. And from yesterday, we have a 1626 no hit, and CPI was best case scenario to pop the drop. So we shorted the extension first tag like always. So when we come to the first tag metric here, like so, you will see that 5 minute chart hit 423. And like we posted in that chat, usually after a 423 extension, it can walk itself back down to the 3618. Now at all-time highs, we don't really have anything else to do besides watching a couple different extensions. So if this happens to want to continue higher for any reason, you'll be looking for above 3618. If not, the standard procedure is to watch for lower, right? 3618 best scalp, 2618 after we've lost that 25,500 tag. Big psychological level there. So we'll be watching 25,500 very close today. We'll be watching the 10 SMA directionally because, like we said, that 5 minute 10 SMA catch up will be coming in hot, right? So, there we go, 1 minute chart. So what we see here is that huge 1 minute CPI, and what we did is we fibbed this out as well. So we posted our P&Ls. We're up a little over 5,000 right now on the fundeds across the board, and this is that. So 25,520, little top on that 1 minute. Boom, we made a GP. And as you notice right here, price action failed to break higher of the 1 minute candle, which is all-time high. So you short it down to usually the first GP tag, right? So with that, you see this GP and a shy. So we came down, shied it, and we shorted the lower high here. GP, shorted the lower high here. GP actually tagged. Now it's reversing. The first tag scalps are now done very cleanly, where we got the 423 rejection, came down to the support of the 3618, and GP popped a little bit. But again, if you stretch it out, notice that's a shy scam there. She will return, right? So that 25,452.89 needed to be tagged on the 1 minute GP in order for that clean bounce to happen back up. Now we're still in range of breaking that 25.5, and if it does go back up, fine, we play it as normal. But right now, the biggest watch is the 3618 under to the 2618. So a fail in this area is what we'll be watching the most. Okay, so we have to manage a trade here and wait for that 10 SMA 5 minute to catch up in order to find any kind of clean direction. So the entire day, because at all-time highs, we have really nothing going on for us here. We have a couple fib extensions, and then we got momentum intraday. There's not a whole lot we can go off of. It's very dangerous to trade these. So especially on the counter trends. But I'm more or less looking for that downside action here until proven otherwise, because of the fib extensions that we see here with the 15. So we'll go back to that 5 minute. This green fib is going to be the end all be all, and the best short pivot today will be under the 3618 down to the 2618, resulting in a solid 92 point potential. That's obviously getting through the GP through the 10. So we are waiting for the market to consolidate, digest, hit that 10 SMA in the blue, maybe do one of these, whatever it wants to do, get through the 10 and 50 and walk itself back down to a target of 2618. If the GP holds that 50 and we recover to that 3618 and wants to pop back out, clear shot over 25.5, I'd reassess for a long position at all-time high FOMO moving. But today, not really the day for that yet. Needs to confirm. Last but not least, on the VIX breakout and down, we are now leaving a ton of stuff to the open. Well, we went over this already pretty big, but if we back up here just on the 30-30, just to give you a larger scale here, we have an opportunity to see we finally filled, there we go, this huge 30-minute gap. That's a double, right? I shouldn't say fill, we gap through it. So this right here is going to help us narrate the short potential, that 30-minute gap, which again, I don't have too much else to go off of besides that today. So that fill this morning was tiny bit shy, of course, right? So zoom in. That's what we're talking about here. It opened up directly into that 30-minute gap because algos are going to algo. Pushed, couldn't hold, gapped through it. So we have this tiny little space right here that does not have a fill. Now, a lot of the times these can get tricky because if you go here and, go in between them, that 1 cent is pretty much all it gives you, right? From the gap bottom right here, 17, to that wick bottom right here, it'll say low 1701. So it is a penny. Very hard to see, and those don't usually work out super clean, but it's still something I need to watch. So if we do happen to find that support into the mid 16s, we will be running up towards 17 again to back test if it wants to go down. Now, we got a lot of digestion time yet and a lot of wait time. We have our over-under picked for the day, and if it wants to just FOMO drive up, I would need it to tag the 10 SMA 5-minute to watch that trend tag up. Right now, this is just no man's land chop, as we posted in chat there. Just don't get chopped up. We don't want to see anything in correlation with hurting us here, right? So last but not least, we'll cover just the couple ETFs that we got going on. Obviously, we do have an algorithm this morning along with that CPI. So what does this show us? Well, we had that 2618 that needs the live tag, right? So way back on that weekly chart, we put in, let's do a little redraw here since we're a little busy. So we put in this weekly right here. It has no golden pocket tag. We did a high-low like so. That gives us a 2618 of 616.05. That's the highest extension. We shied away from it, held the 1618. So a live tag here is something that we're going to watch for on a weekly time frame extension. That's going to be one of the strongest. Notice CPI magneted right to it, right? So 616 is going to be huge for the macro, which means this big CPI candle pushing up, it needs a live tag. So even if it runs away a little bit like this, there is still an opportunity to come back down to 616.05 at the open. This is an algo wick here on TOS, 7:05 Central Time, so you can fib this out intraday to help you with guiding that, and you're going to see, obviously, the channel. So overlapping fibs right here from the 1618, high-low from the algo, and that 616 weekly. So again, as long as these are tagged and become resistance, we have a great shot to fill up the downside for those short metrics. And again, all-time high trading is near impossible to pick tops. There is no such thing as resistance up here. We are at all-time highs. Very difficult to trade up here, so you got to go very slow. So 616 here with that 30-cent channel, or 30-cent channel here in Qs is what you want to see to macro down, okay? So we're going to chart off that 50 to CPI. We're going to call this target 1 short since we're all staying short right now, or not. All right. We'll duplicate that and make the head of the algo here the 2. And those are going to be our downside targets for the open. Like so. SPY, not much different. Obviously in a gap up, obviously sweep of all-time highs. We already called this, but we do have a 666 up here. So we're going to go to that daily, and this is something that we've been looming with for a while. We posted this in the journal, in Discord last week and a half ago, whatever it was. I think it was the 13th of October, right when the Trump dump came. And I said, we're going to buy that Trump dump. We're going to go into the all-time highs. We still have a 666 magnet that we could shy or tag at 678.21. Need to get a little closer to that. Well, look where CPI is. Boom, boom. And look where it failed, within 2 points of the yes. So this is going to be another metric, and we just got an algo right here on the ES that we're going to have to watch. So potential live tag up here because all-time high FOMO moving again. Very, very dangerous. So out of pre-market, looking for that potential live tag of the 666. But again, we have ES providing us with lots of different fib hits already with the whole GP. So what I did here is I just fibbed out the high-low, the 5-minute. I'm going to make a channel where that golden pocket is, so I know. And then we're going to watch this top here, because if we break out of that channel, we start holding here, we're going to get that potential live tag. If we stay inside this channel, head back down, we'll get those GPs and potential gap fills. I'm still on the way short side bias things right now, and we need VIX to correlate that at 1650-ish and find some support. If not, just going to keep going. We're not going to trade too much until we see clear, concise confirmations. So that's that.